Hey, hello and welcome. My name is Miss Tina and you are listening to Swaziland, the occasional dose of my reviews, reactions and opinions. Today I'm going to talk about Joyboy a bit, and naturally it will involve some spoilers if you haven't read the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1043, then be aware, okay? And before we begin, thank you so much for the subscriptions and the likes. They really do mean a lot to me. So thank you very much for doing that. I always appreciate it. Thank you. Now, let's go to Joyboy. So, last chapter, it was sort of confirmed by Zunisha that Luffy is actually Joyboy. What does it mean? We have no idea. And there have been so many theory videos around there that, you can't just keep up with them. But, I'll try my best to do my twist on these things. Well, first of all, this chapter pretty much confirmed that Joyboy is Luffy. I mean, Zunisha said so it must be true, hopefully. Or I guess so. And we could see that Luffy is changing a bit. He had a weird smirk on his face, so he's changing into something else. Well, this is the first part where people don't really agree on what's happening here. I wasn't sure either, and I'm still not sure either what was happening back then. There are so many theories, but I think when I first saw it, I was like, maybe Luffy is possessed by Joyboy. Maybe Joyboy is reborn and, Luffy is gone or something like that, or Joyboy starts to take over Luffy or something like that. I can understand why people don't like this theory or this this way of the plot line, because it resembles so much to other stories and other shonen series, or even not shonen series too. I mean, in shoujo it is quite common that you have another being taking you over. Anyways, the thing is that being taken over and not being yourself is something that fans usually don't really appreciate and like, and I can see why people are starting to feel a bit unwell knowing that this might happen to Luffy. However, I think that this is not the case. Why do I think that? Think of the ancient weapons, for example. Think of Poseidon, the ancient weapon Poseidon, which is none other than Shirahoshi, who was reborn. Is she the same princess? Is she the same person as 800 years ago? Probably not. I mean, there has been numerous other mermaid princesses, but she is the one right now. We know that already, that she is Poseidon for sure. And she can use her powers too. So it means that Poseidon didn't have to take her over, so to speak. She has this ability inside of her. So my safe and best bet is that Luffy has awakened his ability to control, to have more control over his devil fruit, which we don't know what really is capable of doing, because what we sort of gathered from the other five, or the Gorosei, if you prefer that term, is that possibly Luffy's devil fruit, we are not 100% sure on that, but possibly they were talking about Luffy's devil fruit, that it had a different name, but they changed it because they didn't want people to awaken it, so to speak. And that's an interesting fact. So, and let's go a bit around this awakening stuff. What we know, or sort of guess, that it has to be awakened when the character is dead. The character has to die in order to awaken Joyboy, or in order to awaken the special ability of that devil fruit. I like this part of the theories. I really like that sort of thing. And this is why I think that maybe Kaido was looking for when he was trying to die. He tried to find a deadly situation. He wanted to kill himself, and he wanted to go beyond death in order to return as Joyboy, or more powerful. And he had a very, very good devil fruit to do so. I mean, being a dragon or fish, whatever you might want to call it, but being that creature and, you know, really awaken that ability must mean that he would be humongously strong, right? And maybe Kaido wanted to do that. I'm not quite sure what Kaido actually wanted. What I am almost 100% sure is that he knew what was in Oden's journal. He was expecting many of the things we weren't really aware of. And maybe he heard some rumors from Rock's pirates too. That could be also a possibility, but I'm quite sure that he knew about Oden's diary and what exactly stood there. Because there are two facts we know about Oden's diary. One is that the few pages have been torn out, possibly by Toki, as she ripped apart either the letter or some parts of the diary. And two, when Yamato was trying to read the diary along with the samurai, you know, back in the cave, there was a clear mention that there is a channel upwards. So if you are above the cave or somewhere there, you can hear the conversation. So I'm sure, I'm quite positive about that, Kaido actually heard at least parts of the journal. If not the whole journal, at least parts of the journal. And then he knew exactly where he wanted to go. Did he want to become that character? Did he want to become Joyboy after that? I don't know. Possibly. And we can go back to in 2 years, you know, back when Kaido wanted to fight Whitebeard, you know, when Whitebeard went to Marineford to rescue Ace. And, you know, Shanks was the one who stopped Kaido, and possibly without a fight. What could he have done? What could he have said? We know that Shanks is quite aware of a few things, or it seems like that he has some kind of power to make people believe in him. And I think that he has some private information. And I think he told Kaido that this is not your fight, and this fight will enable something greater. And you will be part of it, but stay out of here, please. I think something like that happened, and because Kaido knew about Joyboy and everything, or at least some parts of it, he realized that he had to go back to Wano, and he really just had to power himself up even more than he had before, and gather all the people he could have, and have smile devil fruits and everything on his side. And there is also an interesting question: why did he use the beasts? Why does he need beasts in his crew? But you know, that's a different matter, perhaps, or not. So Kaido is sort of aware of it. He might want it to become Joyboy. He might still think that he is Joyboy, or he is looking for Joyboy. We have so many questions here. Anyways, what is important, that you have to die in order to awaken Joyboy, or your devil fruit powers, your true devil fruit powers. That's what it seems like that's what happened to Luffy. So I think that Luffy isn't possessed. He has just awakened his power. By the way, as Hawkins mentioned before, Luffy has always 1% chance to live, and it never goes below that. Which means that Luffy has a plot armor, of course. So, but you know, when you think about it, Luffy has been in many crazy situations before, and in these situations, he was quite desperate. And if he wasn't saved by someone like Shanks, for instance, or Zoro, or whichever character, then he was saved by a sort of miracle. For example, think back when, I think it was in chapter 1 or chapter 2, I think it was in chapter 2, when the whirlpool swallowed him. What are the chances that he can survive that, when you really think about it? Not too much. Nature might have lent him a hand, right? Or in Lockdown, you know, where the lightning struck down Buggy and the whole scaffold, and it broke down and everything. it wasn't Dragon. Dragon could create a bad weather, perhaps. I mean, I think that he uses the wind devil fruit, I guess. That's a speculation too, but I think that he uses that. And you know, with wind, you cannot really create lightning. So the lightning part was the destiny part, right? So if there aren't any people around Luffy who could help him, then nature or the miracle itself helps him. Why is that? Why is Luffy special? Is he special, or he's made into a special character? That's an interesting fact to go around by. If you think about it, in Luffy's case, there are people who believe in him and never stop to believe in him. And maybe that's why Luffy can sort of resurrect himself, or he can be saved so many times. First of all, because he faces situations fearlessly. You know, when he thinks, oh, maybe I will die, you know, on the scaffold, he's like, I guess I did. And, you know, he smiled back then. If Kaido had seen that, he might have changed his mind. Because, you know, when Kaido defeated Luffy, I think 3 times already, he never once seen Luffy actually smile while being defeated. That's because Luffy never really gave up, you know? I mean, he wants to defeat Kaido so bad that he, you know, doesn't have the time that, oh, it's my time. He doesn't smile because he has to defeat Kaido. But, you know, that's a different matter. What I'm trying to say is that I think I lost my train of thought there a bit, and I won't be able to get on by. I'm looking at my notes here to help out a bit. But yeah, I got my train of thoughts back. So Luffy needs people to believe in him in order to come back. In this particular chapter, you could see that, you know, everyone was like, Luffy's dead? What are we going to do? But Nami was there and she's like, he's not dead. I can't believe he's dead. He's not dead. And maybe this is one of the reasons why sort of Joyboy can be reincarnated as well. So this must be one of those things, one of those points which makes you a Joyboy, that people believe in you even after you die, or even if you are in a very deadly situation. There are people who stand there and say, this man will not die. He can't die here. And as long as Luffy has that, he won't die. And that's why his percentage of chances of dying is never 0. Or surviving. Yeah, of surviving, sorry. Of dying, it's... you know what I mean. Sorry about that, I'm a bit scattered today. So, that is my point, which is, in my interpretation, very interesting. And miracles happens to those people who actually work for it. And I think we can honestly say that Luffy has been working on it real hard. So he sort of becomes Joyboy. Joyboy, it seems like it's not just a title, but I'm not quite sure about that either. I mean, people say now that now he is going to change a bit, and Joyboy is indeed a character which gets resurrected. I mean, Zunisha even said that Joyboy has returned. But I think that Joyboy is still not... It's like a soul, it's like about something like that. Joyboy is here, but not in a sense in order to possess Luffy or be an integral part of Luffy or Luffy's body. I think Luffy will stay Luffy. Maybe I will be dead wrong. I mean, next Friday we are going to find out, hopefully, if I had been wrong or not. But I believe in Oda, and I believe in his way of writing the plot and how things going on. You know, I really do believe in him. Are there any... and of course I have to mention this thing that, you know, people really don't like this idea, and I'm on the side that due to the fact that One Piece is all about destiny and Luffy has sort of a plot armor, even though he actually gets defeated quite a few times despite being the main character, right? I think that as far as I know the story, it fits. and it goes beyond my expectations as usual. And that's why I love One Piece, because, you know, goes beyond the expectations, but still keeps its original concept. And that's why it is great, right? I think, yeah, I think that was all I wanted to say about that. Thank you very much for listening to me. Next Friday, hopefully, we are going to learn more about this. Maybe that chapter, just a bit about chapter 44, maybe, just maybe, the whole chapter will be around people running around. Maybe it will be about Orochi and what's her name? Oh God, I forgot her name. Hiyori's fight, or sort of fight. Maybe it will be about that. And then at the end of the chapter, everything comes together and Joyboy or Luffy will appear. We will see about that. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait for next week. It's such a long time though, but I'm glad that I could share this with you. Hopefully see each other next time. Goodbye, and please like and subscribe if you can. That would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. Bye bye.